Hello and welcome everybody to the Rogue Valley Roleplayers. My name is Ben and I'm here with Rosemary, Austin, and Nick. We are a little short-handed tonight for Valley of Famine because Ed and Trisha are currently celebrating their anniversary. I won't tell you which anniversary it is because I don't know how long it's been.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary, Ed and Trish.
Yeah.
Again, we are here to play Valley of Famine. We are the Rogue Valley Roleplayers. We're using the Deadlands Reloaded setting and the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition rule set both made by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. They're awesome. You're also going to hear some sound effects in this episode and in all future episodes. Those sound effects are brought to you by Plate Mail Games. You can check them out on Drive-Thru RPG or Battle Bards, or go straight to their website at platemailgames.com, which will then direct you to one of those other two websites. So, once again, my name is Ben. I am the marshal for the game tonight.
I'm Rosemary. I played Deputy Rachel Jane Kennedy. I blanked on my character's name for a split second.
I'm Austin, playing Macario the Clown, who doesn't take crap from anybody because he's got enough from his bowl.
I am Nick S. I am playing Haru Matsuhara, the harrowed samurai.
And I'm Lazarus Black, and I'm the real star of the show, as everyone knows. And so yeah, you're at the Medford Iron Dragon train station. You're standing there next to Ross, who's just looking out at the tracks and beyond, smoking his cigar. And you ask him, what are you doing down here? What's going on? And he just responds, Joe Kelly gone missing.
When? She'll say after a pause.
This morning, I guess.
Did anyone see her get taken?
Not exactly, but she was hanging out at the station by herself. And been here trying to ask for clues, but most people come and go. It's from Medford. It's been hard to track anyone down who was a witness.
Well, Joe had talked about that she might get snatched by whoever's kidnapping people along the rails. Did she leave the sign like she said she would?
What sign was that?
I can't remember.
That ain't a very good sign.
It was a...
She was going to leave the flowers, remember?
Oh. She's going to leave the flowers, I think.
Flowers?
Yeah.
Really? That was your plan? That was your big plan?
That was not my plan.
Hey,
It was a plan.
these are very long-lasting flowers. Very long-lasting.
Okay. It's still a shitty plan.
I think it smells good.
Can I roll to see if I notice a flower drop somewhere?
Sure.
5.
Alright. You do not notice a flower dropped anywhere.
Well, she's just gonna kind of do that whole thinking pose, glance around the station. You think she vanished on the morning train?
She had a ticket for the morning train.
When's the next train come through?
Not till tomorrow.
Where is this morning train heading?
Portland.
Well, I'm assuming you sent out search parties around town looking for her.
No,
Do you know for a fact that she was on the train, Ross?
I don't.
Well, maybe we should verify that she's not in town first before we just think she's gone missing.
Poor Ross is not a very good sheriff.
I want to go back and talk with Billy up in the office and see if he can help me organize some search parties. We'll look for her in town first.
Alright. Try not to get my new deputy killed.
I'm sure Billy can handle himself.
That's a lot of
think-
confidence you have there, Deputy.
That was very sarcastic.
A stone-cold killer like you must have chosen a strong and brave deputy.
Brave, maybe.
First of all, I don't know how I should feel about that statement. Second of all, I chose him because he likes talking to people, and I don't.
Well, that's good. Maybe someone Billy talks to will have seen Joe.
Maybe. So, how's the town of Copper?
It isn't.
Yeah. It's filled with possessed dolls.
He looks quickly around and makes sure this platform
And
is
she's
clear.
not shouting that to him.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Perhaps we should do this in a more quiet location, Deputy. You know, many ears.
Yeah, that's probably a conversation we want to have in private. Let's just say Copper is a ghost town.
Fuck. That ain't good.
Macario lost his horse.
Ah, shit, I'm sorry, Macario.
He was my only friend for many long days, but he went pretty quick.
I guess that's a good thing.
And his killers are gone.
Oh, good. Well, you look tired. Why don't you get some sleep? Send out some search parties. Look for Joe Locolac tomorrow. And you can tell me about what happened. And unless anyone has anything else they want to do, you all leave, head back to your homes.
I was going to say Rachel might swing by the sheriff's office if Billy's still there.
Yeah, Billy's probably still there, getting his desk all set up.
My desk. It's my desk.
I am more. Scout comes padding in.
Well, howdy, Miss Kennedy. What brings you back to the sheriff's office so soon?
Billy, sorry, I just wanted to apologize for my rudeness earlier. Just took me by surprise is all.
That's fine. I understand. You're not used to seeing a new face here in the office with Sheriff Ross, but that's okay. I understand. I'm an right honorable sort, and you'll get used to working with me just fine.
I'm looking forward to it, Billy. I'm sure you'll do a real good job as deputy.
I can only hope. I mean, I do appreciate Sheriff Ross giving me this job. Sure shit beats the... Ooh, pardon my language. beats helping my father around the farm. That man was a slave driver.
The strong smell of whiskey and cigar smoke heralds the presence of Sheriff Abraham Ross as he comes walking in while you're bantering back and forth. He comes stepping in, looks at you, Rachel. Looks over at you, Billy.
Billy's just doing his thing, while talking.
Tugs on his hat and goes to his desk. Sits down in it. Promptly pours himself a whiskey.
Billy, how are you at organizing search parties?
Well, I can talk to everybody in town, see if I can get a bunch of people together. It won't take but a couple hours to make sure I can round a bunch of people up.
What time of the day is it?
It's evening.
We might have to wait till morning, though. Most people are either to bed or at the saloon, and not much use for looking around for people's
Yeah, I
things.
guess we'll have to search in the morning. There's reason to believe that one of our reporters has gone missing. Miss Jo Kelly. You know her?
Oh, I know her. I know her right well. She interviewed me when I got this job, and my hoot, she was just wordy and long-winded. She just kept asking me a bunch of questions I wasn't sure quite how to answer.
That's
Yeah.
because she's a reporter, son. That's what they do.
Well, I think she might have been taken against her will on this morning's train, but gotta confirm that she actually ain't here before we can run around making accusations and like.
Well, shoot, I'll get together a search party first thing in the morning. You just they'll have a crowd of people right out in front here.
Thanks, Billy.
Now, if you don't mind, Sheriff Ross, I'm going to head to bed so I can be right as rain for tomorrow to gather up people.
All right. See you bright and early there, son.
Yes, sir. Shuffles out the door.
As soon as he's out the door, Rachel's gonna start moving his shit off her desk.
It's all neatly organized in like nice little piles and everything. He even has a pile that's marked Deputy Rachel Kennedy, and it's just
really?
like all organized.
I actually picture Rachel taking her arm, just sweeping it all off the desk.
I don't know if she would do that.
All right, so you walk over to Billy's desk and you're just shoving shit over.
I'm not just shoving shit over. I'm just taking his neatly stacks of paper. I'm opening up a jail cell, and I'm setting the stacks of paper on like one of the cots in the jail cell, and reclaiming my desk. And then I'm taking my stack of papers that Billy organized, and I'm respreading those across my desk how I had them before.
Okay, you're in the process of doing that when Ross says, Deputy, put Billy's stuff back.
No,
That is not your desk anymore.
it was so my desk.
You don't use it,
I
Deputy.
do use
You
it, in
don't
fact.
use it.
I
You
do.
never used it.
I have so used
You
it.
did paperwork once.
That's
That
using
was
my
2
desk.
years ago.
That was not 2 years ago.
Deputy, put Billy's stuff back now.
Could have at least given me some warning about hiring on Billy as a deputy and stuff like that when I came back into town.
I didn't think you put up so much of a fuss about it.
Of course I would. I'm your deputy, ain't I?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sheriff can have multiple deputies.
Well, you've never had multiple deputies. A little heads up would have been nice.
Well, you're off and about on your own errands or following up on other things. I felt it was wise to take on another deputy to handle the mundane stuff.
Ross, you may know about the occult, the strange. Definitely know how to drink and shoot a gun, smoke a cigar. But sometimes you sure as shit don't know how about women. And she'll pat her leg at Scout and just head out the door.
And Ross just like takes a long drag on his cigar, sip of whiskey, and then flips open his ledger and goes back to work. I should say he pulls his ledger out of a drawer, sets it down, flips it open. Where are you going?
Probably home if it's evening.
Okay. You're riding up on your homestead when Scout starts growling. Arrgh.
Scout?
And he's kind of gets down low and he's fixed up ahead at the homestead.
So she's going to pause because she trusts her dog. She's going to say, "What is it, boy?"
And he growls, snuffs, and then turns and runs off.
The opposite way of my house?
Not necessarily opposite, but kind of like maybe towards a little stand of trees that he's been known to play in.
I'm going to draw retribution because I don't know what's in the house. And I'm going to kind of whisper, shout, get over here.
He doesn't come back.
Scout! God damn it. Can I see anything?
Yeah, you can see there is someone sitting on your porch. See a figure?
But I can't make out who it is.
No.
I'm going to call out and just say, "Who's there?"
Deputy, I've been waiting for you.
Recognize the voice?
Yep,
Is it Scout?
it's Skell.
She's going to holster her gun and just say, "What are you doing out here so late?"
I came to speak to you. I could not find you in town. So I came here and waited.
Well, I was busy.
Clearly. I understand that the reporter, Ms. Kelly, has gone missing.
How would you know about that?
I have been searching for the spirit of famine that I spoke of through the hunting grounds, and I saw its servants come to Medford and take her. And I saw their path as they fled.
You know where Joe
Yes.
Well, shit, where is she? Where'd they take her?
To listeners, I'm going to butcher this name, and I apologize in advance. They took her to Alawim Chadis. I think McLaughlin, the mountain. That's what your people call it, right?
Yes, I believe so.
They dwell at the base of the mountain.
These things that took Joe.
Yes.
And you know this because you dreamt it?
My body was asleep, but my spirit traveled through the hunting grounds and followed them from afar.
Well, you're probably right, but I'm going to have Billy search the town regardless, just in case.
It is a waste of time. The longer you wait, your friend will die.
Well, thanks for the information.
If you go there, as I hope you will, that you will find that spirit that threatens the valley. I brought you this amulet to help.
Another amulet?
It's actually the same one. I don't remember. Did you ever give the old one?
I think he gave it back then.
Okay, then yeah, he's... Again, this will help you.
She'll reach out and take it. Any reaction from her?
You don't feel anything.
Interesting. Well, what will this spirit look like?
It'll be terrifying to behold. But spirits are not like you and I, not like mortals. They're not bound by one form. They appear as they desire, or as they are perceived.
Well, it's late now, so probably right out in the morning then.
Very well.
You gonna come with us?
I am an old man, Deputy. I would only slow you down.
I don't know. Sure seems to know a lot about these spirits.
There is knowing, and then there is doing. Age has sapped the strength from my bones. I would be nothing more than a liability.
Well, it's your decision to make.
I thank you for taking this task upon yourself.
Don't thank me yet. It ain't been completed.
Well, I thank you for trying.
If you don't mind, it's late and I'm finding a bit of a cold, so I'm gonna head on and
Of course.
get some rest. Do you need an escort back to town?
I will be fine. I know the ways to my camp.
Well, I wish you good night then.
Good night, Deputy. Or may I call you Rachel?
We'll see. And she'll just move on into her house. She's a little cold towards him because he drugged her the last time they spoke.
Yeah, he leaves, heads off towards Taylor Rock Mountain. Table Rock.
Yeah.
And not long after he departs, Scout comes slinking back in. He's all muddy and gross.
She's gonna say, you big old silly dog. What would I keep you around for anyways if you're just gonna go run off and get muddy anytime there's a hint of trouble?
Oh, he gives you a big old slimy lick.
Ugh. Alright. Good boy. Come on, let's go to bed.
I was rolling for how long I sleep because I think Haru would actually be spending any time that he wasn't doing his resting, like wandering around listening to if there were anybody just talking about the disappearance of Joe Kelly.
Sure. How long do you have to rest?
2.
Yeah, you rest for 2 hours, and those 2 hours are not pleasant. Describe some sort of nightly torment that Lazarus puts you through.
I think actually at this point it would be like he'd see in a foggy mist rolling through on just an empty void almost, but on one side is through the foggy mist is like the coastline of Japan, but on the other side is Rachel. And every night he stops and he's thrown into a torment of not knowing what to do. You know, he's got this duty that he's got to perform, but he's always been told, you know, by people that when you find somebody, be with that somebody. But then after a while of being torn between the two, Lazarus says, "And you can't have neither." As he holds up like a mirror and shows like super even more so than he actually is, harrowed version of Haru.
Just like totally rotted and
Totally rotted
disgusting.
and disgusting, and he's just kneeling on the ground crying. And
All right, perfect. And then you startle awake with Lazarus just kind of like in your ears.
and then I don't know if Harrow can cry, but like
Nope.
yeah. So but he'd feel that
ache.
like his chest is feeling tight, even though no pain can make his heart. He's like
That knotted feeling in your gut.
and he stands up, puts his boots on, and just walks out the door.
Macario.
Yes.
You're at home. You're trying to sleep. You've gotten Don settled in Guapito's old stall.
He's even got Guapito's old blanket.
Yeah.
It's colorful.
Yeah. Now what are you doing? You got him settled. Now what?
Yeah, Macario's going through his cupboards and noticing that just everything is rotted.
Yeah.
He basically is out of food at this point. He doesn't even know he's going to feed Dawn. He's like, I'm going to have to dig up some grass from the snow and hope that it's still there and
Edible.
edible and chop it up and give it to him. And what am I going to eat?
Yeah.
So he's kind of fretting about that. Lady, I tried to solve this. I don't know what to do.
And there is no answer.
I don't think that would be that weird, honestly.
Probably not.
He's not used to getting answers. Getting answers is like,
Right.
once in a great while.
But you kind of, maybe you touch that flower that you've got pinned to your shirt. You feel just a little better.
Yes, the ghost flower. I I don't know what to do with it, but it is still here, I suppose. As some sort of comfort. I should visit Crater Lake. But I'm sure something else will go wrong. There's something always goes wrong. He kind of starts talking to himself.
And eventually you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a guts check. And by guts, I mean spirit. Add your grit.
6 plus 4 is 10.
All right. Your dreams are troubled and unpleasant. You see the valley, and it's full of color. And then you see wolves, but not wolves. They're covered in fur, but they run on hands and knees. Their faces, animalistic skulls bearing sharp fangs. And they come rushing down upon the valley in great hordes. They leave in their wake a trail of gray and dust, and they set themselves upon all that they can reach and devour them, and leave only bleached white bones behind. And they don't stop. They're never satiated, not until every last soul has been consumed, and all that is left is colorless. And then you wake up.
Oh boy. That was definitely a vision.
Deputy, give me a spirit roll. Add your grit.
Also a 10.
You are troubled by dreams as well. You're patrolling the streets of Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And people are walking around the streets, and you see your friends are there, and Ross is there. And they're, you wave hello, and then gunshots ring out, and you see Macario fall, and there's just pow, bang, 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 a chorus of shots, and you see one figure on the other end of the street just come walking out, firing again and again and again. You see Macario fall, his heart pierced by a bullet. You see Daisy, her head just explodes like a ripe tomato as a bullet takes it. You see Ross go down as he goes for his gun, turns, and just gets riddled with bullets. You see innocents falling everywhere, and there's just blood flowing and drenching, staining everything red. until it's just you and this figure on the other side of the street. Comes walking towards you, both guns drawn against you. What do you do?
I kind of go to pull my guns, and like draw back against this figure. And as I look closer, I realize that it's me.
Exactly. And you wake up.
Yeah.
And it's next morning.
Great.
You hear the caw of crows in the trees.
Where's Scout doing? Is he on the bed with her, or is he like scratching at the door?
You're probably on the floor, and Scout is on the bed.
Fair enough. She's gonna get out of bed, search through her cupboards for coffee.
What coffee?
Yeah, great. One of those days, Scout.
Scout's like nosing at his kibble bucket or whatever you've got for him.
I feel like she would feed him just meat, probably.
Yeah, there's meat's all gone bad.
Come on, boy, let's go see if we can find some grub in town. She'll get dressed and...
Yep,
right
you
on
head
into
into town. I think you all meet up in town. Daisy's, at this point, like, staying at her house. She's got to fix another mess that her inventions left.
I would have been in the saloon of the Jacksonville Inn.
She's probably going to swing by there to look for a breakfast.
You see Macario walking down the street with his bull, collared and leashed with a saddle on it.
Yeah, people are giving you some side eye there.
What color is the bull?
I'm picturing like it's jet black, but it has kind of a brownish red spot around its face that kind of goes off on the left side. Just sort of like...
So Rachel's gonna kind of... I'm picturing her on her horse. Just call out, "Good morning, Macario."
Good morning, Deputy. You sleep well?
Slept.
About the same for me. Had some sort of nightmare.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's a nice bull you got there. You taking it to the butcher shop?
No. I want to keep this bull. It gets lonely, and I feel as though, I find this bull right after I lose Guapito. It feels like fate, ghost footprints and all. I tend to trust ghosts. Perhaps I should not, but I do.
You're gonna keep the bull?
Oh, yes. But I can't keep him at home. I have to bring him with me because there is no food at home. I checked and everything was rotten.
Yeah. You might want to be careful about leading that bull through town.
Meat.
There's a lot of folks hungry.
Yes.
She's going to gesture to the two men on the porch just chanting, "Meat, meat, meat."
Yeah, Macario looks over his shoulder and he sees a guy with like a big old fork for like barbecuing, just kind of like licking his lips, looking at the
Yeah,
bowl.
what you see is like two Viking-looking guys. They've got fur. They've got like a long sword and everything. Just, meat. And then Dennis Quaid shows up and herds them off screen.
People saw me bring the bull into town, and I was afraid if I leave him at home, someone will sneak in and kill him.
I mean, yeah, that's also true.
So, I mean, if I get desperate enough, I suppose I will have to eat him, but I do not want to.
Doan gives you a very alarmed look. like he's just kind of been passively like sitting there and like chewing his cud, what little he has, and then you say, "I guess I may have to eat him if I have to." And
But I like Don. He and I get along very well. Not as good as Guapito, but nothing will be as good as Guapito.
I'm sorry about your horse.
Me too.
I'm on my way to the saloon. to see if they have breakfast at the hotel.
Oh, yes, I will come with. I could use breakfast. I had nothing to eat last night. I just drank some water and...
Yep, I'm out of food myself. Gonna have to stop at the store and see if there's anything left.
Yeah. I feel I should tell you about my dream later, but not right now. Let's get breakfast first.
Yeah, there's some stuff I need to talk to you over breakfast, too.
All right, so you go over to the Jacksonville Inn, you go inside, and you see Haru sitting there.
It's got a empty whiskey bottle on the table, and then like a half-finished plate of food.
Rachel's gonna sit down, kind of nod towards the food and say, "You gonna finish that?"
Yes. I will order you some, though.
Yeah, food costs 10 times the listed price in the book now.
And you hear from outside the saloon, "Order me some too, Haru. I can't let my eyes off my bowl."
So it's $5 for breakfast.
Okay.
Haru would be paying for Rachel.
Oh, you're gonna pay for Rachel's breakfast?
Yes.
Aw.
Here, catch. He tosses it over the saloon thing.
Little pouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel's gonna, eat for a little bit, kind of focused on eating and drinking as much coffee as possible.
And for the amount of money you paid for that breakfast, it's not a lot of food, and it's not the freshest food. I mean, yeah, it's the middle of winter, but it's also kind of like, it's got that slightly moldy taste to it.
Haru doesn't care.
Well, yeah,
Rachel-
Haru doesn't care, but
Actually,
the two of you, you're scraping those plates clean,
Yeah.
but you're also, you're taking them by and going,
So how populated is the saloon right now?
it's probably not that busy, really. Like most people don't even have money to go to the saloon to pay $5 for breakfast.
Okay. Yeah, he just comes in and sits next to you guys.
I saw a skull last night. She's just gonna say to Macario.
Skill, the holy man.
Yeah.
the shaman who healed you,
Yeah.
What did he say?
what did he want?
To be precise, he said he knows where Joe Kelly is. That a spirit's taking her up to Mount McLaughlin.
Oh, well, I wish I would have known that. I would have told that new deputy, Billy. He was in here earlier, rounding up people and asking all sorts of, like, who's good trekking, who's good this, that, the other thing. I said I will be there when my deputy shows up. Not
Yeah.
this newcomer boy.
I think it can't hurt to have Billy check in town just in case, but Skull sounded like he was pretty sure she was at Mount McLaughlin. Being held by spirits, he said.
Which mountain is McLaughlin?
Big one.
That one.
And it looks like there are plenty of forests between here and there.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of forest.
Are we outside we'd have to have left the saloon at this point so you guys can point this out, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I look around and make sure nobody's looking. And I say, I had another dream last night. Like the first dream. The one I told you about.
She's gonna nod knowingly and say, "Refresh my memory."
Well, the lady, she showed me a dream of this valley where brother ate brother, and the ground was white, and the sky was nothing but black. And I saw that again last night, but it was not men eating men. It was not wolves, but creatures like halfway between wolves and men, like men wolves. And they killed everyone, they ate everyone, and they left only white sand behind them.
That's not good. You think it was a vision of some sort?
I think so. It's hard to say,
Yeah.
but I can't ignore it. It's too much. Too much the same.
Yeah.
And if we go through woods, where there are wolves that we have seen before, that carry terrible diseases. I must assume we will see more.
You think the lady's warning us not to go to Mount McLaughlin?
I think the lady is warning that if we leave, someone else will come.
Well, the way I see it, Miss Kelly's in trouble. Skell says she's at McLaughlin. So far, he hasn't steered us wrong. I'm kind of hoping if we take care of these spirits for him, he might be able to, and she's just going to kind of gesture her head towards Haru without saying anything aloud. But it'll kind of give you a knowing look.
Well, I just think that if we are going to go, we should plan a short trip and we should be back soon.
How far away is McLaughlin from Jacksonville?
I was afraid you were going to ask that, and I did not research it.
We're going to need a plan foods for this. I'm worried anything we get is going to rot before we even get to the mountain. The way things have been here in town.
Yes, things have not changed after we defeated the creature on the island, as I hoped they would.
I think that was only a minor inconvenience. Perhaps Skell was also just testing our ability on a lesser demon when a much greater spirit was present.
Oh God, I hope what we faced at Crater Lake wasn't a lesser demon.
If this other spirit seems to be growing in power, maybe we stopped a rival of sorts, if you will, a power struggle. But when we killed the one, this one's power grew tenfold.
I hadn't thought of that. What happens when we kill this one then?
Who knows? I just know that evil must be slain immediately.
People are starving.
I am not convinced that even killing this evil will stop the starving. We need help. We need help from outside. We need protection. We need food. We do not have enough here.
Well, that is the issue. We must stop this. You said Skell called it a spirit of famine?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good place to start with ending the struggles with food.
It's 48 miles to Mount McLaughlin.
We're probably going to need at least a couple of days' rations.
Yeah, you're looking at pretty much close to 2 full days travel.
I can't think of what we can take for food. I don't want to take more from this town. People are starving as it is.
Think of it this way. People are starving, but they can't afford it anyway. We can buy the food and end it for them. That sounds way darker than I intended.
I was meaning it more of like kind of a heroic, inspiring, but then ended up more like, nope, let's kill everyone.
Maybe there's a little bit of Lazarus Black influence there.
I have some money saved up. Let's go see the sheriff real quick.
Okay. The sheriff?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of imagine outside the sheriff's office, Billy's got maybe 10 people rounded up, and he's like, all right, everybody, now we're gonna split this whole town and whole area into sections. You're gonna take the northern section looking for Joe Kelly. You're gonna take the southern, and you two take the other 2 directions. Oh, hello, Miss Kennedy. I got a group all rounded up to look for Miss Kelly, and I'll be much obliged if you offer your assistance in directing this posse.
Much obliged for you getting this organized, Billy. Something's come up. I gotta talk to Ross about it. There's a chance we might be leaving town, though. Can you handle this search on your own?
Oh, shoot. I can handle all these crazy people. I mean, I love every single one of them. I mean, Miss Marjorie just had a baby. Sucks that she can't barely feed him, though. But we've all pitched in a little bit, getting her food and what's up when we can.
Well, this reason why we're leaving town, we're hoping it might lead to a little bit of relief in terms of food shortages.
You on a mission to go see if we can get some supplies from another town then? Yeah, I'll let you see Mr. Sheriff Ross happens to be inside. I'm going to get this, this group all sent on with their different directions. All right, people, let's move out.
Rachel's gonna, she will, not wave goodbye, but shake Billy's hand. I don't know. She will say goodbye to Billy.
Well, I hope you have a nice, safe trip, and be careful. I've heard some strange howling that late at night.
Billy, you don't know half of it. She'll go and
I'll
say.
take your word on that. All right, I'm gonna keep control of this group here and check in with Sheriff Ross every so often.
And why am I partnered with him? I don't even like him.
You're going to be partnered with who I say you're partnered with, and that's just going to be the end of it.
You walk into the sheriff's office and you see Ross is working on his ledger. And
If you keep teasing the ledger, at some point I'm going to have to find out what it is.
Deputy?
Sheriff?
Sheriff?
I have something for you, Sheriff.
Oh, Macario, I didn't see you behind Rachel.
Yeah, she has grown very tall. It's quite strange. Maybe she just stands up straight now.
I mean, you are small.
I'm a little bit small. So, I want you to take this, and Macario hands him a promissory note for $400.
What the hell is this, Macario?
Sheriff, I know you're a big, tough guy, but I think there will be trouble in town soon. And I want you to use that to hire someone, have them come on the railway, and protect the town while we are gone. Because I think something will happen soon.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Macario, but that's also kind of my job.
Sheriff, keep the money, hire someone, because we may not come back. But if...
Where are you going? What is all this?
Miss Rachel is feeling unobliged to speak for herself, but she had a meeting with that, the Skell, if you remember him, Native American fellow.
I don't, as I've never met him.
We've talked about him.
You have mentioned him before, but I've never met him.
Anyway, Skell says that some spirits of famine have taken Joe Kelly up to Mount McLaughlin, so...
Spirits of what?
Famine. We figure we go up to Mount McLaughlin, hopefully find these spirits, kill them, find Miss Kelly, hopefully alive, come back to town. Hopefully there's more food, or at least it's not rotten quite so much.
And hopefully there's a town to come back to.
I'm sure you've noticed food shortages in town, Ross.
I have noticed.
Yeah, well, if we take care of these spirits, it might help with that.
All right.
Billy's organizing the search here. Seems to have it well in hand. Unless you've got a different lead on where Miss Kelly might be, I'm inclined to take Skell at his word.
Well, you just be careful then.
And Sheriff, maybe buy just a little bit of some rice. Have some of that shipped along the railway, if there's enough money left over, that is.
Okay, I'll do that.
Just a stock for the town.
I'll do that. I can see it as a town's defense. That's why I'm here.
All right.
Thank you, Macario.
You're welcome.
All right, you saddle up, buy some supplies, and you head out into that dark, forbidden forest. So you're riding out. You pass through Medford on your way, following what little trail there is. As you do, you're riding through the downtown Medford, and you catch sight of Arizona Red, kind of riding into town, straight to the nearest saloon, hitches her horse up and walks inside.
Is that like a really unusual sight?
No, I mean, it's just, thus far she's been a really sketchy person, so I figure you're kind of taking notice of her whenever you see her.
But we're on our way out of town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd probably just kind of know that she's gone into the saloon and then keep riding.
So you're traveling through the forest, and it's, it's snowy, and it's always that oppressive feeling like it's looming over you, waiting. You're hungry. You're all hungry. That first day is pretty uneventful. You don't see any signs of wildlife around. No tracks or anything like that. It's pretty pristine. But, yeah, you set camp. And, Haru goes out for 3 hours.
I'll take first watch if you want, Macario.
Thank you, Deputy.
Alright, so you're watching for 3 hours. Go ahead and give me a notice roll.
That's Snake Eyes.
Alright. Yeah, I think you're probably looking mostly in the fire, kind of contemplative. And it's not only is it spoiling your night vision, but you're just kind of like just checked out. So Haru, your regular nightmarish hell that Lazarus puts you through is a little different this time. You're at home, and home is this weird blend of American and Japanese architecture. And when you look outside, it's not Japan that you see, but kind of like a swampy bayou almost, but with cherry trees and stuff and blossom around. So I take it as it's an odd blend of Japanese landscape and bayou. You're standing by the door and you look back and you see Rachel sitting in a chair by the fire. She's holding a child. And there's another one sitting on the floor nearby.
Reaching a hand out to like not like to touch her, but more of like what's happening. And I'll walk closer.
And Rachel turns, looks to you, and smiles. And that's when you hear the roar of a cannonball and the sounds of muskets firing. And your house explodes in fire. You're thrown to the ground. You look up, and Rachel's mangled body lies nearby, still alive, still trying to move. And you see soldiers dressed in blue marching forward on you.
Rich. Why? What? Like a rage, an anger is slowly encroaching on him, and he looks to these soldiers in blue and just bellows out a "why" as he pulls his swords.
You charge at them and you just slaughter them. There's blood everywhere. Your blades are just flying. And at the end, you're standing alone. The ruins of your house on fire. Your family dead. These soldiers dead at your feet. And that rage does not dissipate. That question is unanswered. And then you sit up and you're awake.
I think he'd actually move to just sit near Rachel at that point.
Mm-hmm.
A semblance of comfort. Anything happen while I was out?
No, pretty calm.
Good.
You alright?
I will be fine. Lazarus is, if I were to give him any compliment, is a good tormentor.
Do you want me to sit up with you for a bit?
That would be, appreciated.
There's, something I've been meaning to ask you for a while.
Oh?
Grew up in the Midwest. I traveled out here, but haven't traveled that far. I was just curious about your home.
You are curious about Japan.
Yeah.
What would you like to know?
Are there any flowers? What are the flowers like?
Oh, many. Most common are cherry blossoms in the spring and summer.
That's not a flower. It's cheating.
It's a flower until it becomes a fruit.
Bah.
We also have roses and chrysanthemums. Those wonderful flowers. The women in my country do an art where they arrange flowers
They're trained from a very young age to do so. And their gifts and arranging mean different things based on the way they present the flowers and give flowers.
That sounds lovely.
I am putting it far too simply. There's a lot of rules.
Yeah, well, you are a simpleton, so.
Tell me more about your homeland.
And I think like Haru would share, tidbits. You get the feeling that as much as he expounds on the beauty and the wonder and greatness of his country, but he also talks about the strictness, the regimented ethics that they all have. That there's that's why he doesn't show a lot of emotion. Why even when he's pained or sad, he retains it all himself. And you get the feeling it's a very dual. Even though they worship the idea of no duality, there's a lot of duality.
And then Rachel is definitely engaged with this conversation, but also at a certain point you kind of feel like, her head kind of starts leaning down towards your shoulder sort of thing. And you get the sense that she's starting to drift off maybe a little bit, but also
He'd lay her down.
not because she's bored, just because...
Yeah, and he's just getting tired. He'd just be comfortably laying up when she'd start again. That way, lay her down on her bedroll and put her to sleep, and then he'd start stirring the fire and watching it himself.
Yeah, and as she kind of falls asleep, she'll murmur, I think I'd like to see Japan one day.
Hey, make a spirit roll at
Oh,
-1.
shit. -1?
Uh-huh.
10.
All right, you have another nightmare, another bad dream.
Do I get to describe it?
Mhm.
Oh, it's definitely about Haru. It's like she's kind of in this, it's like she's kind of dreaming of maybe of Japan, kind of how she imagines it. And then maybe she turns to say something to Haru because he's there with her, and she looks around and
It's Lazarus Black
Yeah.
standing next to you instead.
That would be good. And she's looking for Haru. She can't find him. Sort of.
Yeah, everywhere you think you're finding him, and then you clear a corner or whatever, and it's Lazarus Black standing there, and everywhere you turn, it's Lazarus Black.
And then she pulls out her gun and shoots Lazarus, and then she's
And Haru's
realized that
body
it's
falls to the
Haru.
ground.
Yeah.
Why, Rachel? Slump.
Yeah. No.
Roll me a spirit roll there, -1.
That's a juicy 2.
All right.
Oh no.
Roll a d20.
That's a 14.
All right. Yeah, you wake up frightened, panicked. You have a terrible, terrible nightmare. We'll have you describe in just a second, but for the rest of this adventure, you're gonna have the hesitant hindrance.
What does that give me?
You take the lower of 2 cards.
Okay.
That's brutal.
All right. So he's frightened. I think he has a dream where he's back on his family farm. And he's just a little boy. He's just been put to bed for the night. And when his mom leaves, he hears a bunch of rustling and ripping through the house. He gets up out of bed and goes check. She's gone. Everything's destroyed. And when he looks outside, there just is nothing. It's just pure black. There's no ground or anything. It's just the house, and then it's just pure darkness all around. He's just completely alone, and weird sounds are happening, and he just feels completely unsafe and vulnerable.
Yeah,
That's when he wakes up.
Mm-hmm. And dawn comes. First rays of the sun on the snow. It's a little blinding. The only sounds are the crack of trees and snow, and the caws of crows in the trees. And there's not a whole lot of other nature sounds going on now.
Can I see a crow?
Probably.
I'd like to shoot it. This time I'm actually serious. For food. You can eat a crow. Squawk! I think that might be breakfast, gentlemen.
Breakfast? That bird?
Yeah. She's gonna go over and gather up the crow's body and pluck it and cook it.
It's gross.
What?
Yeah, like you must have shot the leanest, most gangrenous crow there ever was.
Will Scout eat it at least?
Scout turns his nose up at it.
Oh boy. I'm sorry,
Deputy,
Scout. Are there any other crows around?
Not anymore.
Deputy, I do not think you should eat this crow. It is very gross.
Have some of my food.
Appreciate it.
Of course. Anytime, Rachel.
She's going to take half of the food that you give her and give some of it to Scout.
So you press on for the rest of that day, and you're getting closer and closer to Mount McLaughlin, and that forest is looming in ever closer around you. Sometimes those branches seem like they almost reach out and grab at your duster as you're riding past. Not too fun. But you're getting closer to the base of Mount McLaughlin. You can see like smoke up ahead, like cook fire smoke.
She'll point it out to you too.
Get off of Kuhn. Walk him slowly. Moving off of the trail that would be available. And seeing if I can just kind of see anybody ahead as we start moving closer.
Okay. You get to the top of a ridge, and you can see slightly below you, in kind of like a small clearing, like a little dell or whatever. There's a small settlement surrounded by a palisade.
Do I see anybody moving with
Yeah.
me?
See people walking around. There's houses with smoke coming from the chimneys.
Can I tell what these people look like at the distance?
No, they just look like normal people.
Is this a town you know of? I've never heard of such a place.
I look at the map that I would have bought.
And there's no settlement marked on the map.
Could be out by Butte Falls.
Didn't you say? And I don't remember. This is a way to prelude that Skell said that the servants of the spirit of famine brought Joe Kelly here. What if the servants of this spirit are not spirits?
I thought Skull said it was the spirits themselves that took her. But he does speak very cryptically. He couldn't have meant humans, I suppose.
What if these people worship this? We need to be cautious.
I agree.
I will go and at least attempt to speak with these people. You two watch. Wait for my signal of good or bad.
What will your signal be, Haru?
Oh, you'll know it.
Well, if we see no signal from you one way or the other within an hour, we'll come in after you.
That sounds very good. And so I will start heading towards the settlement.
All right, so you ride down the ridge and out into the clearing, approach the settlement.
I'm leaving Kuhn a little bit further away, just...
Oh, so you're walking?
Yeah. Mainly because I want him to be a safe distance away, just in case these people are hungry too. And so I walk up. Greetings.
Yeah, there's someone that's kind of like on watch at the gates to the palisade. They're on like a little platform overhead, and they look over. They've got a Winchester rifle in hand, but they don't like aim it at you. They just, well, hey, howdy there, friend.
Howdy. I was just curious about your settlement here. It's not marked on my map, and I saw the smoke, so I was feeling inquisitive.
We don't get too many visitors out here, so I'm not surprised we ain't on no map. This here's Covenant. Welcome. You alone there, stranger?
I am traveling looking for food for some of my friends and family back home. Tell me, how is your settlement here prospering when it comes to food and shelter?
We make ends meet. We have little to spare, however, I'm afraid. Enough to maybe feed a visitor for the night. I'll open the gates.
I will be much obliged to at least check out your settlement while I am here. Covenant, you called it.
Yes.
I kind of look at the trail that we had been taking and on my map and make a little X on it.
Yeah, he disappears from view, and a few minutes later, like a couple guys like push the palisade gates open.
And you guys would see Haru walk into the settlement. He's looking around. I'm, kind of curious about this place. I'm moving very cautiously, though.
Yeah, this is not a huge settlement. You'd think there's maybe half a dozen families here, maybe 30 people, roughly. Mm-hmm. But people seem pretty industrious. No one's lollygagging around. Everyone's going about their business. They all show you a couple of curious glances, but they...
A polite nod to people who look at me, trying to be polite and courteous, and
That first guy you spoke to, greets you with the gaze. He's got his Winchester slung over his shoulder, and he holds out a friendly hand.
I shake his hand, which is gloved, so...
Okay.
I'm looking like I'm dressed for the cold, even though I don't care.
I am Joseph. You are?
Haru is my name.
Haru. One of them Easterners, ain't you?
Yes, but I have been in America for quite some time.
Yeah. Well, that's no trouble. I am sure the Cardinal will want to speak to you.
Cardinal, that's a leader of faith, correct?
Yes, Cardinal Tobias. He led us here from the wayward sheep of Salt Lake City and brought us out here to the slopes of Mount Sinai, just like Moses did the children of Israel, so that we could make our own covenant here with the Lord.
Get out.
Sign up.
Player?
That was not okay.
Drastically suspicious. Character, drastically suspicious, but is not going to be rude. I would most like to meet this Cardinal.
Of course. Right this way. I'm sure the Cardinal will want to meet you too.
Slowly, and keep watching the people, seeing how they are, what kinds of things they're doing, like work and whatnot.
Ordinary kind of things.
Okay. And then heading into the
Like sacrificing goats?
No, they're not sacrificing goats. They're just, fixing and mending and
smithing and
things that a very, very small community would do to survive.
Gotcha.
Making jams and jellies, sitting in thought circles.
So I go into the...
Okay, on the surface here, I know you're all getting super suspicious and shit, but on the surface here, they just look like plain folk. There's nothing sketchy going on.
I know. That's why he's giving him a careful look, kind of looking around the town, but heading in anyway. He's suspicious, but it's a I've seen some shit, and you guys are out in the woods, kind of suspicious. Heads into the chapel, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, there's the biggest building definitely looks like it doubles as both their town hall and as their I don't know, prayer hall or whatever, their temple.
Yeah. So Haru goes in to meet this cardinal.
All right. Cardinal Tobias, he's a big, strong-looking man. It's hard to gauge his age. There's a lot of age and wisdom in his eyes, but he's got kind of a youthful face. And he gives you a good, strong handshake and says, "Welcome to my community there, young seeker."
My name is Haru.
Haru.
And I was just... I'm in the area looking for people and food to help my family and friends back home. We are without a lot of food, and the people back home are slowly starving.
Are your friends and family, they live nearby?
We live in Jacksonville.
Oh, I see. Well, you've come quite a ways out.
We've had to. The food is scarce close to home.
I understand doesn't the railroad bring food in for you city folk?
It has been slow.
It has not. I think the snows have slowed the train down. Snow slides and whatever called there are.
I'm afraid the supplies and surplus my flock has gathered, it will not be sufficient to help the people of Medford and Jacksonville, but I can spare a few meals for yourself and maybe some friends.
Well, I would have to go find my our rally camp for the friends that we all went different directions to look for food. We were going to be meeting at a separate location if we found anything. I'd have to go talk with them about coming back here and seeing what you had available.
Well, I can promise you a hot meal. I can't offer resources to take back. Apologize. I wish we could do more, but we have to make sure. I have to make sure that my own have enough to get through the winter.
I completely understand. I was not expecting to even find your settlement, honestly. Just I stumbled upon it while searching.
We traveled with the rest of the faithful to the so-called Promised Land in Utah, but when we got there, the Lord saw fit to give me a vision of His true intentions, and unfortunately, I was not believed. The rest were content to settle for less than the Lord's great plan, and to believe the words of a lesser prophet. So we were outcast from the faith by our fellows, but I led those who had the strength of character to see through the great plan. And we were led by the Lord Himself to here. This is our Sinai, our Mount Moriah.
That's a very interesting story of your long journey, and I am glad to see that so many of you have survived such a long trip. I do not know anything about your beliefs. I come from a land that's a little bit different.
Yes, I have heard, friend, but if you are so inclined, I would be more than happy to teach you the word.
I will think about it.
Of course. I know you said you need to go meet back with your friends, your other scouts. Mother Clara here will be happy to cook a hot meal or a stew or what have you when you come back.
Oh, well, that is most appreciated. I will go meet with them quickly.
Godspeed and safe travels there, son.
He bows, shakes the cardinal's hand again, and quickly but politely leaves and starts heading back to meet up with those two.
Yeah, and everyone here looks pretty religious. Like all the women, they wear like shawls over their heads. Mother Clara, the woman that he pointed out, is kind of this older looking woman who they think they have kind of like a little almost communal cooking area, and she's just working on like a big old pot of something.
Okay.
And yeah, she's got like one of those. She's got like a maroon colored shawl or whatever wrapped around her head.
I'll go and meet up with them then. Like, grab Kuhn, waving as the people as I'm walking away. And
there's a couple of them have gathered. Probably not like a lot, because there aren't a lot of them.
Yeah, like I mentioned, like 2 to 4.
Yeah, like 4 people. What did I say the first guy's name was? Was it Joseph or Josiah?
Joseph,
thank you. Yeah, Joseph's there on the wall, and he gives you a very earnest, enthusiastic wave.
And then I go grab Kuhn and slowly ride off into the woodline, like I'm disappearing from the settlement's view before rounding back up to the ridge that they were at. Mm-hmm. I met these people. They are the followers of a belief that I'm not 100% sure of what it is. They talk about the Lord, so like Christianity, but
is it Catholicism?
They didn't mention nearly the number of saints and things that most Catholics I have met.
Yes, there are so many saints. I will tell you about them sometime.
But they have offered a warm meal to my friends and myself, and a warm place to stay for the night. They seem friendly enough.
Can't lie, a warm meal sounds pretty good right now.
I can't argue with that. A warm meal sounds delicious.
Haru, you're staring at my bowl. My eyes are up here.
Sorry, I feel so hungry all the time and I don't understand. I should have asked Ross, but I am apprehensive.
It's getting dark. I see no point in standing out here. Let's ride on into this town and see what these people have.
Might I suggest we take a slow way so we get there? I mentioned that I had to meet up with my friends at a rally area and may take some time. So let's take about an hour before we head all the way there.
Your stomach's gonna grumble, but... All right.
So we start heading over that
Yeah,
way.
you make your way, and you take your time at your leisure, sort of. And
I call it to Joseph at the wall, the gate.
hi, howdy there. Welcome back, friend.
These are my friends who I went to go grab. It's cold and getting dark, and we are most anxious to have a warm meal.
Well, glad you decided to come back. It's just about prayer time. Open the door. The gates.
I have a question. What is your religion?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I didn't name him. We are the Church of the True Latter-day Saints.
Oh.
They just gonna say howdy and move on in through the gate.
Okay.
Yep. I'll move on inside looking kind of confused.
I'll lead them to the town hall / temple so that we can get the meal from Mother Clara.
Yeah, everyone's it's pretty late. Everyone's gathered at the church, the
I'm
temple.
really excited to hear the prayer.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Her specialty is clarified butter.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a Benny.
It was a worthy pun.
Yeah, everyone's assembling at the temple, and Cardinal Tobias is taking the pulpit or whatever, and everyone, they have a prayer.
I guess we stand at the back of their little prayer, and if Cardinal Tobias notices us, I give him a gentle,
Okay, he
polite
gives you
nod.
a welcoming smile. There's not really any pews in here. People are just kind of like sitting down on their knees and haunches, and they're reciting respectfully. And for the most part, it seems fairly normal, nothing sketchy.
We wait for the prayer to be over.
So wait in respectful
and
silence.
I will introduce them to Cardinal Tobias.
Okay.
These are my fellow scouts, Rachel Kennedy and Macario Bromista.
Well, Mr. Bromista, it's not often we see one of your kind this far north of the border, but it is a right pleasure to meet you.
Yes, very good to meet you. Very lovely church ceremony.
Why, thank you.
I have not. I've not heard prayers like this. They are similar to what I'm used to. I am Catholic.
And, Miss, it's a pleasure to see you. I hope the journey wasn't too cumbersome.
I've been on worse trips.
Slam cut to, like, Jormungandr.
Slam cut to getting kidnapped and dragged across the wilderness.
Well, I'm grateful that you were able to join us in prayer and in and break bread with us. If you will see yourselves over to the eating area, Mother Clara will see to it that you get yourselves a hot meal. I have to answer some questions that the faithful have, but I will be there shortly to eat with you, to break bread and to say the prayers of the meal, stuff, things that.
Oh, those prayers sound right nice.
So you go and people are getting bowls of stew from Mother Clara, ladling them. She's like the person right before you. She scrapes the pot clean, gives it to them, and like ladles from another pot that's sitting there waiting and ready. I think probably you're probably some of the last in line, and so she gives you a friendly kind of motherly, grandmotherly smile.
Thank you kindly.
Do you like hold your bowl out for seconds or something?
Yeah, practically like, if it would be not too much trouble. It was very delicious.
She gives this wide-eyed look, and then refills your bowl, kind of pats you on the shoulder, then gives you a push towards where like they've set out some tables and stuff.
It's been a long journey. I am very hungry.
And then Makari, you're up next, and she fills your bowl, gives you a polite smile, kind of a toothless grin.
I'll lift a pinky and start spooning it into my mouth. Why not?
Are you gonna go sit down first before you start doing that, or are you just like...
I'll take a couple of sips on the way to the table.
Okay.
Oh, Rachel is definitely getting food.
All right, yeah. Serves it. And...
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How old are you?
983,000 years old. No.
Old enough to know better.
You look young for your age.
Yeah. Unnervingly so.
Just kind of thinks about it for a second, then... Wow, I think 93?
A long time. Well, it smells delicious. Thank you kindly.
You enjoy.
She's also going to sip at the stew as she walks to the
All
table.
right, you go, you sit down, you're sipping at the stew. It tastes a little odd, a little off.
Still eating it.
But yeah, you're so hungry, and it's filling. Like
That's an unnerving way to say filling. Like deeply so. Thank you for that, because again, deeply unnerving way to say it, filling. It's filled with people, isn't it?
Oh,
It's people
there's
stew.
Definitely
They call it
something
beef
fucked up
stew,
about
but
this stew.
it's people stew. Oh my god, it's people.
Stew.
hey, you two lifers, roll vigor rolls.
Great.
Great.
So great. So
They're
great.
gonna end up hitting me with like a shovel or something to knock me out, because they're like, wait, they got knocked out. And I'm like, why isn't he? He ate 2 bowls. Why isn't he out like a light yet? I want more.
You want to spend a penny on that?
Kind of curious to see what will happen if I don't.
I think you want to spend a penny on it.
Is Rachel gonna die?
There's no take backsies.
Is Rachel gonna die if I don't spend a penny on it?
You have to find out, but there's no take backsies.
I kind of want to know what's gonna happen.
There's no take backsies.
I keep saying that.
And I'm serious. Dead serious.
Okay, we're gonna reroll. I think it's not meant to be.
Boy.
4.
Oh, you just made it.
I'm good. I got an 8.
You got an 8? All right.
Soup tastes great. No complaints.
So you don't feel these effects until after. They put you up in a couple of homes. They apologize, but unfortunately they can't put you all in one place.
They're gonna kill us and eat us, aren't they?
It's made of people.
So the two of you are racked by cramps and vomiting and nausea. This is hours later. You're trying to sleep and you're just you're not feeling good. And you both suffer 2 levels of fatigue.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Rachel, we're gonna start with you. Roll a spirit roll.
Spirit roll?
Yeah.
It's a 3.
Yeah, I'm spending a penny.
I feel like I'm also going to spend a penny.
Maybe he'll blow it up.
don't know what I'm rolling a spirit against, but
Are you spending a reroll or to add a d6?
I want to give you another Benny.
Okay.
Reroll. There we go. 8.
Add a d6.
Oh,
to it.
come on!
There we go. That's a raise. Macario, roll spirit.
Okay. I'll Benny that. Whoops.
Snake eyes. Oh, that's locked in. That was great.
You win.
Oh, that's so great. Haru, this is going to be amusing. You are not affected. You're only asleep for an hour. You're out of it for an hour. Go ahead and make a spirit roll. And roll snake eyes. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I got a 15.
I'm going to add a d6.
Okay.
That's 11.
Add another.
Yep.
All right. It's 12. Adding a d6.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit!
13.
Oh boy.
So Lazarus is in the pilot seat, and we're both puppeted, huh?
Ooh, I like that. Spend this Benny you just gave me. So you feel an outside influence speaking into your mind, and you can't help but just obey. It tells you to head towards the chapel, and you just kind of get up and zombie-like just walk out, and Lazarus is like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What? Haru? Oh, you stupid son of a bitch. All right, fine. Lazarus Black has to save the goddamn day. Roll Dominion.
2.
Nice.
Yeah, you lose 2 Dominion.
Oh, that's not so nice.
Lose 2 Dominion?
Yep.
Okay, I'm at -4 Dominion.
You're at -4. Owie.
Yeah.
And Lazarus Black is in control. And when we come back next week, Lazarus Black is going to save the day. Thank you for tuning in to the Rogue Valley Role Players podcast and listening to this latest episode of Valley of Famine. You can find us on Twitter at RVR Podcast, as well as on our Discord channel, or email us at rvrpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy our show, please be sure to leave us a rating and a review on iTunes. Any and all feedback is always appreciated. Deadlands and Savage Worlds are the property of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. They can be found at peginc.com. Music is provided by the Eaglestone Collective. They are available at eaglestone.bandcamp.com. Sound effects are provided by Plate Mail Games. You can find them at platemailgames.com or at DriveThruRPG or BattleBards.com. Links to all of these are available in the show description. Once again, listeners, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful whatever time of day it is you're listening to this, and I hope you'll join us again. Catch you next time.